Hi guys, it's Aegis here, and today I'm going to show you a dimension police stack profile. I've been playtesting it for a while, and I think the current build is fun for me and it's workable. So let's get into it. First we have our usual starter, and then I'm running 4 of the die liner. This is the new card from the set, and it's the VR. First skill, all your grade 3 units get plus 10k shield, so if you got with your grade 3s, then you at least have a 10k shield value, which sometimes is helpful because force clans you don't always get a lot of hands, and if you get so many grade 3s, usually you just stuck there, but this card gives the shield power, so you can still guard with the grade 3 if you need it. And then second skill is where this card's shining, kind of last one, so last one, look at the top 7 card of your deck on top of the deck, and then pick one normal unit, reveal it, and then add to your hand, then shuffle your deck. If you reveal a grade 3, then during the turn this unit will get 2k, 20k power and 1 crit. So he can just be a 33k 2 crit by himself if you pick a grade 3, which you will use it for guard or ride again, or maybe just prepare for a big move next turn, which will be great Dayusha, or pick a grade 3 that you need, so that, for example, the next card I will be reviewing, or even just another highliner if you need. So very great. Even though if you need grade 1 or grade 2s, you can still pick those, and depending on the force marker that you choose, then things can be different. But most of the time, after I test with force 2, I think this deck is better to use force 1, but I'm trying to make it more flexible so that I can use both. But most of the time it will be force 1. And then next, I'm running 3 of the Dice Hours. First skill, as a Vanguard during your turn, for each damage you have, this card will get 5k power. So even if you have to ride him, at least you can still gain the power. And then the second skill is when this card battle ends, if your Vanguard is 35k or above, counter +1 and put this card into your soul. During the turn, select one of your Vanguard to get 10k power and 1 crit. So very simple skill, give you another drive, which helps great Dayusha, because most of the time I don't think you'll use this guy's skill to give liner the extra drive, because you get one empty circle, and when you put a great Dayusha on, you get 10k power less basically. But still a very good card. I'm not running 4 because I don't think I need to rely on his second skill that much, even though it's helpful. But I also don't want to like max out my great Dayusha, because I don't want to ride him as a first ride. Most of the time I want a Dyliner, and Dicesaurus is a good target for me to pick with Dyliners. That's why I'm running 3. And then I'm running 3 of the great Dayusha, because he's the combo piece with Dyliner. Once you get Dyliner, get to 20k and 1 crit, and then what you need to do is to give your Vanguard about 12k more power, then you will be available to great Dayusha Superior Ride, which is kind of easy because you just need to use a Die Brave or Die Dragon to give 5k power, and then just one trigger will do, or even a Dice Hours if you needed to. But if not, usually your booster can also help you, so you have many ways to reach 45k. But again, I don't want to ride great Dayusha first, because I can only get the force marker and 10k for the front row, but the extra 10k that I cannot get, so try not to. And then I'm also running one of the Silver, because it's so easy to get to 30k right now with Dyliner. So the extra crit, extra pressure can be helpful. Also, not to forget, when I superior Great Dayusha, I can still get him 10k, and then with a force mark I can give him another 10k. So he can be a very crazy attacker. Then going to grade 2s. First I'm running 4 of the Platinum Ace. This card is a new card from the set. First skill is a Vanguard. During your turn, this card will get 5k power, so you don't always have to call something at the back to boost, and you still get enough power to push through. And then the second skill is a Regard skill. When this card attacks, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or higher and with 30k or above, so blasting 1, during the turn, this unit will get 10k and 1 crit. So kind of like Silver, the gaining crit action helps to push through, and that's one reason that after testing with Force 2, I think Force 1 is better, because most of my units can get crit by themselves, or I can just rely on a crit trigger. I don't need Force 2 to give them extra crit, because sometimes it takes too much resources to get the high power if I'm not using Force 1, so I think it's worth it. And next I'm running 4 of the Die Dragons, just because he's a very impressive attacker, can be 20k by himself, and also a key to boost Vanguard power. If, for example, if I can't pick it free from Die Liner, I still need to find a way to get more power. And then I'm running 2 of the Quick Hero active mask. So I don't find myself using skill a lot, but since I'm running Great Dayusha, I'm trying to be a little bit more flexible, trying to do a little bit more multi-attacks if I want to, because his skill is Regard Circle skill once per turn. When your Vanguard attacks, if that unit got 30k or higher power, counter blasting 1 and stand this unit. So just by superior riding Great Dayusha, you can reach the 30k already, and when your Great Dayusha swing, you can stand him and then wait for trigger to give boosting him. And because my key focus now is on Force 1, so I can kind of guarantee him to get the 10k extra to be 20k, attacking at least 2 times. But if you don't need this skill, he can still functioning as a 10k grade 2, so nothing much to worry about. But you do need to take care of your counter blast and soul blast, because you can see here these guys take up your souls, this guy takes up your counter blast, Die Liner takes both, and then this one eats your counter blast, and this one eats your counter blast. So you need to be very careful to your counter blast and soul blast. And then next I'm going to talk about great ones. So first, Magical Police Quilt. When appears, a Vanguard or Regard Circle, discard a card during the turn. Your Vanguard will get 10k power. So another way to tune your Vanguard power, you need to push through when you need to get enough power to activate skills. That's where she comes into handy. And the second skill is when your Vanguard attacks, if that unit got 30k or higher power, counter blasting 1, and you can draw 1. I usually don't have this spare counter blast to use the draw 1 skill, but if you need, she's there. And in the Forest Clan, hand size is kind of important. Even though we just saw from cards today that Noatama can limit your hand to 6 or 4, but still, if you can, you always want to draw. or at least you want that option. And next I'm running 4 of the Die Brave. Again, the 5k is important, and then this card can fill your soul and draw you cards, so no reason to take him away for now. And then I'm running 2 of the Glory Maker. This card is more against the meta, or against like the trend that people around me is playing, because the skill is this: when this card boosts, if the boosted unit is 30k or higher, counter +1 during the battle, your opponent can only guard with grade 0. It's mainly because most of my friends are trying to run the grade 1's PG, so when I put her down, I can just basically block them using PGs. But even though usual play when people using grade 0 to draw trigger PG, I think she's also important to push through, because when you counter +1, your opponent can only use grade 0, so they cannot use their protect marker, and I'm kind of forcing them to drop that PG. Yeah, so as long as they drop the PG down and they're trying to block my attack, for example, if I get a crit or something, or when they are at 4, I just swing normally before I crit, then I force them to place the PG, which will make me easier turn after, or maybe the other attacks that I can stack a lot of high powers, because sometimes my Vanguard might just get more power than my Vanguard sometimes. So, and Glory Maker can also boost Vanguards and give them that skill. That's why I think she's a good card here. And then another guard restriction, I'm putting 2 of the Dilander, blocking intercepts, easy to reach 30k. So when these 2 are together, usually you can make your opponent to drop whatever from their hand that you want them to drop, or if they don't have those in hand, they are most likely going to take it and lose. So that's why I'm running these. But during my testing, I was using like Commander Laurel as well, but I kind of don't think I need it, even though there's once like I use his skill, gain 20k and 1 crit, and then I call a Laurel and double the power and gain the crit, and then swing for a high number, that forcing my opponent to use basically all the hands, but not always the case, and I don't think I need to do that move. So I'm more a fan of force one for this deck for now. And then for triggers, I'm running 7 crits, 5 draws, and 4 heals. The reason that I'm still sticking with 5 draws is because Quilt will force me to drop a card if I want that 10k power, and the extra 5k draw is helpful. And sometimes when I'm fighting Protect or fighting XL, because they are using like XL2, so that 5k shield sometimes is handy, that I can keep my 15k shield and not losing one of my grade 2s or grade 1s to guard with. That's why I'm still running 5 draws, and as I said before, as a Force Clan, you always want to have more hands so that you can guard, you can build out your field. Even this guy will help you pick a card that you need, but you can't always guarantee from top 7 that you get what you want. So always be a little bit flexible and make sure I have a second plan to go with. That's kind of what I'm trying to achieve with this deck, or even other deck builds that I did. For example, the end I'm trying to make myself to be able to use Force 1 and 2. This deck I'm also trying to make myself available to Force 1 and 2. So that's how I'm going to make myself to build decks that fits both. Yep, so that's about it for this deck profile. Kind of straightforward because most of the cards are just gaining power, giving power, card restrictions, gain crit and hit high. But that's why this deck is fun. And I'm also trying to run a premium version of this style, even though that's a little bit different because there's some G era parts that are still very, very important that I need to place, but it's kind of similar. But it's fun. So if you are going to build a DP deck, you can try this build and let me know what you think. If you have some other opinions, of course you can tell me. There's other different variations, different ideas that can be shared. Feel free to share. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.